Let's see how this goes. Oh, so I think this is the first time I'm here live on this channel, actually. Thing is, I was thinking about doing a live on Rumble because I thought about talking about a few things without going too far, but still to tell a little bit. And apparently, you need to have at least 5 followers there to be able to speak there. So I haven't been there. So yeah, much. I just realized it the other day. Hey, there's someone listening, and they move away quickly. I don't know. That happens all the time. Okay, yeah. So, maybe I shouldn't mention that this is a pod, but apparently, when someone comes in, they can't see me. Probably. So, where do I start? Even I feel like half inspired and halfly not. So I will just go for it. I will want to talk about certain things that have happened to me for quite some time now. Or actually, it started way earlier. I shouldn't tell all my life story here now. That seems unimportant. But at the same time that it seems like certain things come back again and again. So there were, and also there is this thing, I want to protect others. I want to, so that no one get hurt by what I say. And also, I mean, so that not others that are related to someone get hurt and so on. So children or those who come after or whatever. But when I was 3, there was I recall from that age that I was sexually abused by someone who have passed now, and his daughter have been public about what happened. Also, she's a year older than I. So she was 4 then. She was there also then. She does not remember this though. She thinks it started when she was like 9 or so. But anyways, so I don't know what this really have to do with much that I'm saying now, but with the things that I thought about saying, I have no real plan about this. But there are a lot of things that moves around in my mind, and I don't want to speak about them on channels where it cannot be received. Really, that's what it is about. So, anyways, yeah, I feel somewhat heavy now. Maybe I should just stop and not say more than this. Well, yeah, I've listened to others that have been exposed to various things in other, let's say, both similar but also different situations. Anyways, what I have been exposed to, you could say, is, I should have planned it. How can I even say? Well, I will first of all say, this is the thing also, when I mentioned to a few people, like a little bit, just a tiny bit of what have happened. First of all, people not easily believe it, and they don't understand, because they don't understand that these kind of things can happen. And this goes for those who should maybe be more open. I don't know, working with certain things and so. But yeah, anyway, so I've also been asked this question: what have you done? And that's maybe a fair question, but also, people are being bullied or treated shitty, not because it's on them. So I can start there, with what I've done, and that is being too caring, too tolerant. I never have any mean intent towards anyone. Yeah, well, afterwards that have happened, when things went really bad, and also, small moments of hate. Yeah, that is what it has been. It has been a deep, dark thing, you could say. But anyways, so what have happened is that I've been targeted and gang stalked, filmed, hacked everywhere, followed my phones, and this has not been like one person, obviously when it's gang stalking, but there have been not also just from one. What can you say? Just from one set of persons, there have been various involvements from various what can you say, sides of, maybe you could say, society. um, and yeah, obviously I touched something very sensitive. Yeah, that touches also various layers, that itself touches various layers also in society. So yeah, and I have hey, someone is here listening. You can comment if you like, if you can chat. Otherwise I don't see who you are, but I will keep talking. um so yeah, you could, in my own little way, not compare to what certain things that others have been through, but for sure you can call it that I've been through hell. What happened is also these people tried to make me seem insane. I mean, this is methods. I realized later I didn't understand that. Would have been way better for me if I would. Thing is that I played into it very much. I I was indoors for 2 years. I Because they went into my apartment, and I ran from there. I had dreams beforehand. I'm a psychic, so I saw, but I didn't understand. I thought it was symbolic, but it wasn't. So I ran from there, and I stayed indoors for 2 years. And during those years, I didn't understand. I knew there were threats towards me. People were calling from all, those secure, I mean, set lines from all over Sweden. There was a lot of things going on. But anyway, so um, afterwards, I almost couldn't walk when I got out. I mean, yeah, I could walk, but I couldn't like the when it was like upwards. I was just used to flat floor, so it was my balance was off, and also my eyesight was way worse after just seeing walls, like almost. And people were standing in with both their cars, and also people were like standing in. There was a crossroad where I was at then, but anyways, they were like shining their lights into, or even if it was daylight, they were just sitting in cars, like staring at me all the time. Various people that was, and also various people involved told me to go. People that I didn't know at the time were involved, to go like axe their car or something. I thought that would not be a really good idea for me. I mean, if you don't want to, uh, I mean, there were sudden. They wished to push me to act very crazy, so that I would be like maybe locked in or something. Apparently, I realized this long after. But anyway, so yeah, and also during night there were people. Just can just say that, and now I laugh about it because it's so it's bad to call it silly. It was not even remotely fun, but the the situation when you are in something like this happening to you constantly, you get kind of used to it. Also, actually, you do. And I also always try to like think like, okay, how can I misinterpret this in the best way possible? And there were some people having a cat looked like mine that had 3 legs. They were trying to show me that they would they like hurt her. And I thought, okay, I can sit here and I just think. I mean, this was when I afterwards went outdoors, so to speak. Then, and then they were following me everywhere. So they followed me before also, but I didn't really exactly understand what was going on. Anyway, so I thought that, okay, how good that they take care of this three-legged cat now. And so I just try to just ignore the whole signaling system. And also my cat is super good at not making things fall down. But there was one time where she, all books are, I saw that she had been roaming around like crazy indoors. Luckily, she's like a cougar and very fierce. I mean, she's more of a, she will go for the kill. She will try to really hurt someone if they try to catch her. She's not a cat sort of cat. Anyway, so they didn't catch her, and I'm sure that someone was in there trying to. Anyways, and they put some little label to knife those who made knives in the drawer for my underwear and all kinds of silly. I mean, the things that happened were so crazy, and that was meant to be crazy, so that I should sound crazy. And now I also know that all this sounds crazy for anyone, but I don't care because it's better, I think, that people know that these kind of things do exist, and maybe listen to someone else exposed. I mean, now I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not trying to trigger this to happen again. This was going on for like 10 years, maybe. So this was not like 2 weeks. And it's not um, totally calm, but almost like, I mean, I'm probably hacked and all that, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah. What can I say? Yeah. Crazy times. I won't go into all of it because it was worse than I say. And for that, I also went to church. Like after these times, I was going, not every Sunday, I was going certain Sundays. Just that was where the release came. I was crying and crying, uh, mostly for other people and also those who actually did these things. Because if I was at a coffee, they followed, I mean, with cars also, but if I was in a coffee shop or something, others around me got scared because people were these certain people. I mean, this is not like everyone, but were like sitting and saying, "Oh, people actually shouldn't even live," and blah blah blah, like sitting beside and talk like that. And I learned to just shut my ears. I didn't care. I could sit there all day and not care. I got so used to it, so I just didn't hear them actually, even because I just decided not to. But others who were with me got really stressed out and couldn't cope to sit there when they were like this. But I also started to realize that certain people were fed lies about me, and they thought that they did something good, sort of, or thought that I was an alpha person of sorts. And that was like more difficult because I know, and I knew always, that the core, those who like spread lies, they knew that this isn't true. So I mean, yeah, there is no doubt there. So that wasn't, what can I say? I mean, the difficulty for me was that I mean, I had no way to defend myself at all. People decided what they would believe or not, and so on and so forth. So, and it's not good. I mean, it's not good for them. So when I was sitting there in church for also like 2 years after that, almost every Sunday, I no, not every Sunday, but oftentimes, um, that I'm at the back by myself. Like I just wanted to. I don't know. I think it was more the place. It's not like the whole religious thing so much. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Something made me at least just something happened that so that I could get some sorrow out. Anyway, so yeah, what happened more? Yeah, so and very much for those who have been harmed, very much those who also don't understand better. those who have treated me super bad. Right now, I don't like hate, or I'm not even angry. I don't think so much, but I'm not sure. I mean, that comes and goes. So at certain times, I mean, short periods of times. Often it could have been longer, like a week or two, sometime. But I mean, then that rage could like sort of pop up or reflame itself. Let's say, yeah. But I really work to not do that, to not hate, and I don't want to be like that. And also those who threaten me and so on, like verbally, also the hate that they had in their eyes, things that I've never seen. I met people actually being. I was together with an abusive boyfriend when I was younger, both, I mean, verbally, but also physically. And when his eyes turned like, you know, maybe you don't know, hopefully you don't know, but he became like an animal. You could see it in his eyes how things shifted. And usually I knew that I could just sit around close by and like I thought about those who I don't know, not train, but not that I was going to train, but those who have with to do with lions, or I don't know, like I thought about just not comparing him actually to a lion though. But anyways, but at the time, like in wild animal, I was just trying to breathe calmly, sit, not do any quick movements. Like it was like instinct with me to calm his, I mean, to not calm really, but to hopefully that he would like snap out of that when he got into those. But anyways, so he, from the beginning, obviously, like it used to go. I've heard stories about that. He was like breaking things and whatnot, and then later he also was violent towards me. But what I was going to say is that is different though than these. Even though I've seen that, and that is not nice. So the hate that I've seen in these people threatening me, that's like something else. They have had I don't know what kind of dark scars inside of them, but anyways, from the beginning, yeah, I was very confused on what was going on, but also very I mean, it was so unlikely to me, so I couldn't like grasp it. Things like this happened. Also, all the time when I went out, someone was sitting outside of where I lived in. And every time I come, I'm like sitting like a guard. And every time I went back, they weren't there anymore because they could also follow my phone, so whatever. But also, because there was one time this person was, or they were maybe different, but one I especially think of wasn't sitting there, and then that person came running. I was out in the woods walking with the dog, and he came like running like crazy in the other direction, like looking for me. I knew. I mean, I have already discovered that they follow my phone. So, but and pretended like he was just normally there, and also when I was indoors, when I was quiet for like, I tested this. If I was quiet for more like than even just 5-10 minutes, it wasn't long, like 5 minutes, I think. Even it was some time ago now, but uh, then some salesman or something called me, and this was like every time. So I knew they were. I mean, somebody, something was keeping track on me. Uh, yeah, I started to realize that, as well as I wanted to be like alone, left alone sometime. I was never alone. And so also, yeah, one time I was, there was this tennis court close by where I lived. And there was some bushes and a little bit of a bench there. And so I went there I mean, I was just walking by, but then I saw this little bench, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to sit here for a while and just be by alone. Like, but I had the dog. But yeah, I was just sitting there for like an hour or two, maybe not, maybe that long. I don't know, remember, but for quite some time, because I was just feeling that for once I feel like I'm not. I mean, aren't these following me everywhere and whatnot. And so, and I mean, same cars with different people in, everything like that. Yeah, maybe you don't know, but that's how it goes. Anyway, so after a while, I came out from those bushes, anyways, into the road there, and there were several that I've seen before. I mean, this is quite a small town, and I started to recognize who they were. I mean, you realize, and they pretended oftentimes not see me, but anyway, so. Um, Immediately they were there when I came out on the road there again. Uh, and I mean, it was so exact everything, so that especially if I were like close to a mailbox or something, I thought I could meet someone, in one direction and then another. It was like super intense anyway. So, and I thought like, okay, maybe I will become, I don't know, like super famous, and that's good training then to be like paparazzi something. I was trying to think of this as a positive thing. Anyway, so, and try to also say something sometimes, too, but they don't know in the reply. Talk to them. Like. Anyway, so after a couple of days there, I uh, I went that way again, like it was close by. So, and then they had cut down all those bushes around that tennis court. So yeah, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. Yeah, and I'm not a runner exactly, but I sometimes also ran, like I was hid in some. Yeah, this sounds more and more crazy the more I talk about it. I understand this, but anyways, yeah, just to have this small amount of time by myself. But another thing that have happened is that you know, the the intensity was high, and let's say, but also it came like to a culmin, or I mean to a climax or high point where I started to just be relaxed. I mean, first of all, I was so used to it, and I was also kind of angry at it. So therefore, I just didn't matter. I mean, how can I say? First, I mean, I was, since I didn't understand what it was. I was so scared. I was hacking teeth. I was like, I mean, yeah, it was so extreme, and also the confusion was worse, I think. Actually, I think I would have been quite mentally messed up by now if they had not exposed themselves quite a lot, several people, and so I understand certain things that have been going on and what they are related to, like in some way or another, like uh, yeah, people I've helped, for example, if they have asked me for some, not that I've been able to do much, but maybe said that they could call someone that I know or something like that. So, and I've questioned this many times after this, that wow, I wish I would never have been so caring. I wish that I've never been so tolerant to even have certain people in my around me, like those who live, let's say, a little bit different lives than normally, obviously, if you just say that in that way, or involved in strange things. I don't know what to say about it, but anyways, so I realized that just some month or two ago or something, just a month, I think, when I met a little girl that I haven't met for a long time. A cute little girl who I know have a better life now, and that made me so happy. And also, I also felt like, or I knew then for sure that this have been worth it. Of course, I would have helped again. Although I'm more careful whom I let in or associate with these days. But anyways, yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, not to say the least, but also how others cannot understand this who have not been in these situations. That's impossible for others to understand. Yeah, and I think even those who maybe, yeah, I don't know if others really can understand, even if they have heard about it, or even if they may believe it or so on. But there was a lot of those that I know that I was also poisoned. I was sick. Really, I think I was gradually. I mean, this was, yeah, it was attacks like from several directions, um, and also infiltrated by people who pretended to be who they weren't for quite long time. Actually, I was then, I had already become a little bit quite some suspicious. So I was I do you hear this background sound? Never mind that. But yeah, so I do you hear them? How weird. Well, anyway, so yeah, I was hesitant to like meet up or so on, and also I've been very careful where and when, and not get into whatever cars. Also I have for some time, when I realized I was followed by these cars all the time. Also, I just so I wouldn't get, I don't know, tased or thrown into some. There were vans also pretty often. So I used to go and I giggle about it now. It's nothing fun about this, because I mean, to others, if they think, oh gosh, what a paranoid person, but actually, you get a little bit paranoid, although these things actually do happen. You still cannot avoid being very, at least, vigilant, after you've been through certain things. But I do question myself. I do question what I am. I mean, when it comes down to things that now I think I'm so used to it, so I see immediately. I don't always pretend to see, but I mean, I've been so used to when they change their ways. I mean, people around, I see quite immediately if someone, I mean, if they aren't, like, I don't know what kind of super professionals there might be, but otherwise I see if someone is put there to listen or something. Like, they were also standing, now I go all over the place, it's no order in this, but when we were also sometimes sitting at the coffee shop, there is something we used to like to do. Then someone could like stand right beside the table and just with crossed arms and just stand there all the time. Like, meanwhile we were sitting there like for quite some time. I mean, these kinds of things that that doesn't really happen. Also, another time they were moving, and I know these people. I mean, I knew that they are guards, and they were moving 3 times when we were at out. I mean, summer coffee here. Yeah. And I started to laugh as if, what would they hear? I mean, why do they think they need to sit so close, or what is this like? So they were moving. We were moving tables because they sat there, and I knew they were actually there before, because they actually listened, obviously, to the phone and whatnot, where I was going. And so we were moved 3 times, and they just moved along, and then they sat there like 3 people sitting all quiet right beside us. It was like, oh man, yeah, I don't know. And also, sometimes the guys just start to laugh at this, uh, uh, like pretending not to be seen, and being all, try to hide and walk on other side of the street. I mean, this is guards. I mean, there have also been other, but I mean, those who work as guards in the professional, let's say, sense here, out on the, I don't know, on town. Yeah. So I think one of them actually felt a little bit bad because him I only saw once, and I think since I know who he am from forever. I think he knew. I don't know. At least I didn't see him doing this more than once, so I think he felt that this won't fly. Let's say this isn't good. I don't know, but still, I don't know exactly. No one ever told me. I mean, no one in these various persons, no one of them have actually told me anything. But they have exposed themselves so much so that uh, I've been able to puzzle things together and realize where those lies come from and so on. Yeah. So, and there have also been those who wanted to sort of frame me. I mean, sort of to get away by. I mean, this is previous. This is back in time, and I won't go into it in detail, but. Uh, where they have been in situations where they couldn't get away, let's say, easily, and then they used me sort of as a scapegoat because I was so both naive. I was very naive, and also I was caring. So, uh, yeah, it is what it is. Like, but surprising what people are willing to. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but how people are willing to harm others that are they know for sure mean well and like aren't involved in whatever, and just for just to avoid their own stuff. So let's say, but okay, I won't go into that further. I just don't want to. But anyways, yeah, obviously those certain people that are somehow connected to these things, I don't have anything to do with them anymore. And I didn't even know that. No, I won't go into that further. I won't go into that further. I could, but then I think it's not good, so I won't. I will just leave it at that. But more surprisingly, to me, even more surprisingly, was the fact that others don't. I mean, that people are so willing to believe rumors. That people are so willing to harass others without knowing anything. I mean, don't they understand that they could be played by others who are not so nice or who have no good intent whatsoever? That's surprising to me. And I'm very curious. I'm not curious. I'm very, what is it, cautious when it comes to those kinds of things myself. When I hear things about people, I, more so now, I wasn't much to like gossip or stuff like that when I was even before. But I mean, rather that it was more so boring. But after this, I am sort of allergic to those kinds of things because people know very little what they are talking about, and yeah, it's surprising to me though. But then again, if you hear things from someone you really trust, and they maybe heard something from someone they really trust, I don't know, and someone to some it just matters not only if you know them, but if it comes from someone who have a certain, what, I don't know, credibility, let's say, in their eyes. But still, people should know. I mean, should understand. I mean, that people should be able to question themselves, and at least, I don't know. I mean, how do people want to break someone? I mean, that was the intent, even kill me, actually. I think I'm not so sure. Yeah, it must have been because I almost died. So, uh, and the thing is, when I stopped eating the things that were in the house, I didn't know that they had keys to other. I mean, at least 3 places they had keys to, anyways, I think that they obviously would want to get away with whatever, but also so whatever, doing stuff gradually was easier, I guess. But yeah, but yeah, I was very sick, at least for like 6 months, acutely. So I had to go to emergency stuff, and so anyways, so I realized that when I ate something outdoors or drank outdoors, like, anything, I just felt so much better. And so I stopped eating the things that were indoors, and just and only those things that were when I went out. And I was careful what then, and so on. Also, I was suspicious that because my thought it was like this. I mean, yeah, okay, I will just relax for a moment. I will just take it in order here. No, it's no order. But anyways, yeah, I was like, anyways, I got well immediately. When I realized that this have to stop, I can't do this. So then I got well. Uh, yeah, immediately, and been well so since then. So um, yeah, that was one of the things. But there were so many things. But I think, yeah. How can I? What more? What do I want to even to say about this? There are so many things. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. People after, I mean, those that I met and so on. Since then after that, I never ate something indoors that I was in my house or apartment. So people wonder why I carried stuff around and so on, which I still do today. Not so much, and I'm not. I mean, I'm very aware of my own reactions to things. Also, still, uh, but yeah. Anyway, so and that was a little bit like fun for other people who didn't understand. And sometimes I tried to say a little bit, but I understood quickly that okay, this will only sound more mad if I say it. I mean, that's also the intent of doing things so strangely, so that no one would listen. And I maybe didn't say that. Yeah, I was about to say that. Also at night there was someone standing outside of the when you went to bathroom at night, outside of the kitchen window, like with some dark, like all dark clothes and hood on their heads, but just where your eyes were the only things that could be seen. Just standing there for a while and going away. Then, you know. But to me, these kinds of things were almost normal because and I also think about it sometimes that why didn't I take pictures of this? But people that I was around saw what happened though, but not that time of the night and so. But I think my logic, I didn't really think about it a whole lot, but it kind of my instinct was that I don't want to provoke these whomever crazy people these are. So it's better that I sort of ignore it. And I could. I mean, one of the best things that I also have is that I sleep very easily. I'm like my dad. The moment I put my head on the pillow, I sleep. So even though things have been very crazy, well, there was for a while I didn't, and that was by like purposely that I wanted to stay up so nothing would happen. But yeah, otherwise I easily sleep and have a good sleep. So I think that also have been helpful during these times. I think it's easy to become very stressed out. Yeah. And of course I was. I mean, I just hear strange sounds. I don't know what they are. I never heard them before. Never mind them. Anyways, I mean, this sounds also like weird, but it's like just, I don't know. Oh, never mind. So yeah, so um anyways, do I want to? What do I want to even say about this? But I know how this can be. So if I meet someone that I've been that may tell me, let's say, unlikely things, I don't immediately uh, set some label on them or diagnosis or whatever. I actually listen to what they're saying. Um, yeah, because unlikely things do happen, and from unlikely sources sometimes also, and sometimes from. And the thing is, people think that, oh, you want to be very special. I think this. I try to figure why people cannot understand, but not that I've tried to tell it to a lot of people. I don't mean that. That would be insane to try to do, but but at least those more and so on. Why like why? I mean, certain people have seen it. Yeah, as I said, but I also think that I've thought in my mind those people have been like disturbed. Why are you carrying all this stuff and whatnot? Or what, almost as if it was a joke though to them, because they had no clue what have happened. Anyways, so uh, I just think that to people that is first of all so far from what could happen, and also I think maybe they project sort of an idea that you would be, or I then in this case, would be so um would want to be like special or have a lot of attention or something strange, uh, and therefore, because if something is like overwhelmingly, uh, can you call it odd? I don't know, but I mean, it seems like, oh, I want this spotlight to be on me. Listen, how horrible, and then I would exaggerate everything, and say all the things that are just made up. Kind of, I don't know. I believe that people may both maybe think that you first of all like are super paranoid and invent things or whatever, or I mean, in what is the word, like uh, not pretend. I mean, like you know what I mean, like believe that things are happening, but otherwise that you kind of invent things for whatever reason. And so you are in a very, I mean, the best thing you can do is actually not to talk about it. So me talking about it now, I don't even think it's smart now. But now things aren't happening, so it's better to tell about it then. And latest year, I mean, it's not totally exactly calm, but compared. So, but when I see this, oftentimes I just ignore it because I don't care anymore much. And also, uh, I have confronted it rather. Like I go. I mean, if someone's sitting stare at me for a long time somewhere, I go up to them. Maybe I just walk around them or something. But yeah, I kind of show them that, okay, I've seen you now for a while. Like, but oftentimes I just ignore. But anyway, so um, also other things. I mean, online where they were. Now I have covered this. Apparently, you see. It doesn't mean much for those who are able, I guess, to hack. Really, I don't know. But there were a lot of things also. It wasn't just on, like, let's say YouTube, Facebook, whatever. I'm not very savvy on these kinds of things, but if that's the word. But they were also, when I made certain sounds, something they could write something or highlight a certain uh, lines of texts or whatever, but also write something on the computer. I mean, it was like, it was not like only a Facebook was hacked. It was like the computer was hacked, as well as also this is so odd, and some things of this I may have to be a little bit careful what to say. But also, yeah, obviously the phones and so, but also there was analog TV there. So I mean, I get it if it was digital, but it was analog TV still, and still that got. I mean, it made these strange sounds, and then it changed to something that was like intended to harass me, and that was quite clear in what those messages or those programs that were like played showed. So I wondered about that. I thought, "Oh, how is it even possible?" Like, and so I bought this TV magazine where you see what's on the TV all week or so on. and that never matched. Then it was never what it said on the in the paper. And then I saw these cords going from. I mean, it was like in that house that was yeah. I would never, let's say it this way then. I would never ever live at with a private landlord again. That was I did for a few times, and that was it. And before I have also done, but that was never a problem previously. But also, what I was going to say again was, when it came to people, I also played these people in their hands very much without knowing, because I didn't understand shit what was going on. I was just I thought I needed to like I didn't like hide away especially, but I needed to uh, understand how to deal with whatever was going on. And so I I also thought that I could maybe harm others. I mean, like, yeah, in one way I was also so enraged at the beginning as well. So I thought that, oh, I cannot go out in this state and meet these people. I could like do whatever myself. I'm quite of a heated person. So I thought, oh, I need to be relaxed enough so that no one, I mean, so I don't like, I don't know what, you know. So there was one reason to keep myself like locked in, you could say, or hide away, sort of. But also, I thought that others could get harmed. I mean, others around me. That was one method of working. Letting me know through my phones or through someone here on YouTube or something backward in a very backwards way. They know the law and so on, and sometimes maybe they are, and so they kind of said, um, like this would happen to, or not this would happen. They didn't say that like that. They say like I won't say exact examples because I don't want to, but they could talk about their own life and something happened tragical or whatever happened in their lives, or someone they know, their sibling, whatever, someone, and then shortly thereafter I realized that happened to me. And before, that's also another thing, before they came into my apartment, first time that I actually knew that before they came into my apartment, when I had the dream and realized that I had to leave, I was talking on my phone in the room then that day, and I had this speaker on the phone. I had been sensitive to electricity, so I used to have the speaker on, and I had this landline, whatever it's called, but it was like sitting there in the living room. So they heard I talked to my dad then actually, and I said, oh, I just need to go and check whatever. They had these keys and came into my apartment, and they heard him saying blah blah blah, talking there. So I think they maybe thought someone was in there aside from myself. But since I had this dream beforehand, like a warning, kind of, I knew that, oh, I need to leave. I need to leave from here now. So I took my cat and never got back. So and the woman who lived beneath, she saw them come back 2 hours later. So and go. So they went up to my apartment then again. But anyways, the story was that they because I won't go into the specifics, but what happened beforehand, that was someone saying that, oh, I jumped from because this was on third, fourth floor. So someone telling a story about jumping, breaking their legs or whatever from their balcony. And I think maybe that was the intent, sort of, that it would look like I had been insane, sort of, and jumped. I don't know. But then again, I don't know that. That's just speculations. It is. I have no clue what was going on there. But I left anyways. That I know. So, but it happens several times that something happened to someone else that I was informed by in advance. Hey, someone. Well, this is nothing to like, honestly, but you can chat here if you want. So anyway, so from the beginning, I was very careful not to connect with other people because I thought, oh wow, if I do, then hi, long time see, I missed you. The orchard, okay, hey. Anyways, yeah, so I avoided because I wanted to be caring with others. So I thought that, oh, if I connect with certain friends and whatnot, they may be, I mean, maybe these people would target and harm them or whatever. And but I afterwards I realized that after those like 2 years crying in church, I realized that no, this is just me. I mean, I'm like herded. I'm like they. I respond exactly to what they want me to do, to be more like they, um, if in hunting or whatever they, I mean wildlife whatever, they try to make the someone isolated and weak a prey, like let's say. That's what I felt like, or I didn't feel like that. I just felt like the strategy was like that. But after then, when I realized, wow, I've just done exactly what they have like forced me into this without my actual understanding that I actually did their bidding. You could say I acted as they pushed me to do. Let's say. So then I realized, no, I can't do this. So I started to reach out to people again or whatever. But yeah, I felt a bit like, wow, if something happened to others because of me and so on, but it's not on me, it's on them then. So anyways, yeah. But it was a special, it have been special, I can say that. um what else can I say? Yeah, also that the fear, I need to have some water, was like very, very strong. I mean, to say the least. I mean, when you have been terrified, you know what that is like. Yeah, it was extreme. And also the whole, that is the thing also when I was younger and exposed to certain things. When you are extremely scared, I mean, yeah, then the rage that comes, when it comes, it doesn't always comes immediately. That is also very, very strong. So I mean, you have been treated unfairly, to say the least, and then uh, yeah, to deal with that. But anyways, uh, yeah, I did. I have done my best not to act on those kinds of, let's say, impulses, feelings, or whatever. But yeah, what's wrong with my? Yeah. Anyways, my cat is still here and alive, behaving strangely right now. I don't know what the. Yeah, she was just jumping to bed. Yeah. Anyway, so what else? What was I going to say about that then? I really don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I don't want to really say because I don't want to trigger this whole action again. That's why. I mean, yeah. What I can say is there have been various people involved, and no one have exactly talked to me. Yeah, I've gotten threats verbally as well, and so on, and so. But there have been various people. Uh, some who some who I've never met before or known who they were, but they obviously have. I mean, they have filmed me. They have been having those hand, you know, cameras and so on, going filming me and so on and stuff. Just like harassing. I don't know how you exactly harass people, but in many ways. So there have been different people connected to other different others, I guess. So my thought of this is that I know a few, and I know a few. I mean, there have been some police that have threatened to break my fingers. There have been, yeah, actually just hate is what I've met, and been followed everywhere from from sudden. And I'm not sure if some people may have been protective. Even there have been some more so. How can you say? I don't want to say exactly, but there are some people in some of these people that I. How can I say this? How can I say this without saying too much? I was a little. No, gosh, I think it's better that I don't. Yeah, well, let's say like this: certain criminal activities, if you call it that, then yeah, you could call it that, because it is. I mean, it's what if you talk about it lawfully. Certain activities may have been going on that touches all kind of layers in society. I will just put it like that. That is my interpretation, my thought. Is that that's why these different, I mean, certain people have exposed themselves because I mean, I think so. There have also been lies told about me, as I mentioned before. I mean, lies that I should be some horrible person in various ways, and also like trying to, certain people that I know now have been actively trying to how can I say, make me look, yeah, harm me, yeah, really. They, before I realized they were involved in these kinds of things, they could like say certain things and try to make me say certain things. Like I think, I mean, in the way that they would mess with that so that they could kind of make it look like uh, something bad about me. This is very vaguely said, I know, but that's a purpose to that. But anyways, those so yeah, there have been several, let's say, to say the least, and in all kinds of I think like this also. No, I won't go further in that. But yeah, but I can say this: I think that some people think that I knew more about certain things that I ever knew, as well as uh, yeah, there are many layers that it's better that I don't talk, because I don't also want anyone to come to harm. And I think if I talk more, they maybe will or would, yeah. So I don't want to. But yeah, I also misunderstand. In one certain instance, there are at least like 3, 4 people that I understand that I've had something personally to do with, but then people around there also. Anyways, so with one of those persons, I know that that could have also been misinterpreted. I mean, certain things could have been. What can I say? That person may have think that I have like. What can I say? That I didn't have their like best interest in at heart, but I always did. It always can come from whatever. It have always been. I've never had any mean intent towards anyone. So, but but these people, I mean, these that the lies come from. Let's say they know for sure. They know for sure who I am. So, and they obviously know that they lied. So, yeah, yeah. I can't go into it further. Actually, I don't think. Yeah. And also, there is no way. I mean, also, as I said before, at least, I mean, there have been different variations. I think that certain people that have had bad thoughts about me, that harassed me, they have had no clue. I mean, they have just been fooled, actually, or played, and so I think that is also something you could like charge people for. Like I don't know, but I mean, if people, yeah, harass you, I guess you can. I haven't though, but I mean, I think you can't like just throw shit over people, and that's okay. I don't know, but yeah, some people have just been what do they say, like chess pieces in some sort of game, and they didn't know it. They were just played. I think they may have yeah. Anyways, and some of these things, I guess, some of the things that have been clearly shown what I've been going through also. So I have no. I mean, what I was also saying for some time ago. Now I was sitting here talking about this for a while. That some, what was I going to say? God, I get all confused. No, I'm not confused. But what was I going to say? I've just forgotten. So I don't know. Maybe it was meant that I forgot. But I really have to be. Or I don't have to be careful. I could say anything with names or whatever, certain names that I know of, but it would be of no use. Yeah, that was what I was going to say. That these people are quite aware of the law. They know exactly, and that does not these ones that have showed up now and then, or some people I've just seen a few times or whatever that have like harassed me, and then I've never seen them again, and so. But the others that have been more involved, they know exactly where the law goes, so I can't do nothing about that. They well, sorry, they kept themselves right outside of the. Also, it have been a little bit complicated in one way because there have been so few threads. It have not just been one, and you know, the way to make someone out as I mean, when it does not follow the regular here in Sweden, I guess the some regular thing is just to shoot each other. No, I don't know, but if it doesn't follow exactly what let's say society are used to, then it does not sound likely. It sounds like a person have gone nuts. Yeah. And as I said, I quickly realized this. So, and then I just didn't say anything. Yeah. So, because I also there realized that I was playing into their, what do you say, hands, because that would just make me look totally out of it. And then it would be another negative thing with that is that if for some reason it would have come to that it would be in a legal case of sorts, then I would have been I mean, it would be like discarded, sort of. I would not seem maybe trustworthy or so on, because things were sounding so unlikely, which they also were. I mean, they are so strange things that were happening. um yeah, I already said that they were strange things. So God, yeah, I think I should have planned this a little bit better what to say. But yeah, so anyways, I just wanted, I was going to share these on Rumble, actually. I don't think this is a good place. Anyways, but I don't have any subscribers there, so I couldn't. But I think it's why I also share it is not for my own sake, actually, at all. I mean, I feel whole. I feel happy. I feel I'm not afraid. I'm not at all afraid. And I think also that the whole scare of all this, it was on such high gear. I mean, it was so long time also quite high. So so my whole system, I think, just the fear was on overload, and the confusion, and that was what I was going to say before, that when I started to see the puzzle pieces, I mean, when I saw that I could like fit things together and understand how this where it even come from, and what is whatever could be the aim or so on, then then I then it got easier. I actually thought for many years that I would never get any answers. I thought that, wow, it was just total confusion, and that is way worse. Actually, it's very complicated to be in a. I mean, exposed to a lot of strange things and not have a clue what this all is about. So when I realized certain things, then it got calmer, first of all, and then also just the whole thing that my whole inner system. And not only that, because I was, let's say like this, then I think I was also trained, let's say, almost for this since I was a child. No, because I was really, really hard as a child. I met certain things that made me hard. And then with this, I mentioned this in the beginning, the boyfriend I met when I was like 20, that's when I first went vulnerable, I think. And then he almost killed me. So I feel like he had like the sort of shotgun and things and barricaded the place I was in, and was going to break my arms, hitting me and stuff. So I fled from there then, and yeah, that's a little story in itself. But I don't want to focus on that. But anyway, so I mean, really from the beginning, I met bullying close, and not from peers, but from other sides. I mean, not from other kids or so on. But um, and even as a small child, I was really, really hard. I would not bend. I mean, so and that came from from a high level of aggression. Like I got from the mistreatment, if you could say. I became so stubborn. I could also detach very much from my body physically, so I didn't feel pain or cold, heat, stuff like that. I could like make myself I mean, be determined just not to feel my body, and and yeah, that was easier obviously than if you would be in pain. I mean, physically, but I've not really been so afraid of that either. I'm not very sensitive, so but yeah. Anyways, I don't want that obviously, but I've also not only that because things. I've been sick also, probably I must say, but I think it was because of my own like eating habits and whatnot. I've been sick, but then again, who knows how early these things started. That I almost died before then, being sick, and that also was a scare that made me less scared afterward. I mean, I'm not afraid of almost anything actually anymore. So, but I think if I wouldn't have gone through these things and felt that extreme stress fear level, I don't suggest it. I mean, I don't suggest it to others, but I mean, if you can't do it yourself. Someone else must, I mean, do it to you. Let's say for it to become like that. But anyway, so um, yeah, my system just kind of it went to some sort of overload. So I just became calm. I'm jumpy still. Just the other day, someone outside here was going into the whatever, and I was just like, but I'm not like I don't have fears like that as could have before. No, yeah, but yeah. So what else do I want to say? Maybe I want to say something else because I think this is the only time I will talk about this. Um, yeah. I just think about. There were some things that were just floating around that I thought that I might talk about, but yeah. Anyways, I don't know. but it have taken some time to realize certain what things I've had to do with and so on. Yeah, and the disappointment in people isn't that a constant? Yeah, no, not really. People are also lovely and wonderful in all ways. Many are fantastic, but yeah, there was also another thing. The quite recently, then someone talked about others being evil. I mean, that was a talk about governments and such, actually, but yeah, I usually think no, but then again, yeah, I don't know actually for sure now when I think about it. I mean, people can do so much to others, and the intent for me, and also, yeah, I was also aside from being very very sick and almost dying from that poison and whatever. I also got intoxicated with some psychedelic stuff, whatever that was. I'm not sure afterwards, but I realized after some days I was really, yeah, I don't know what that was. But when I started to come out of it, I'm like getting kind of withdrawals or what you say. Oh, yeah, I don't know what it's called in English actually, but I started to almost like puke. I started to feel really, really bad. And then I realized that, oh, I have been drugged. I didn't realize it meanwhile because I just, it was really, really weird, that situation also. But I saw a lot of, um, I had I had, let's say, you couldn't call them like great visions, but I experienced a lot those days also. But I wouldn't purposely ever. I mentioned this in some other video, I guess, about how I had this harsh psychosis when I was 20, and I was quite. I've always been very careful, and never, alcohol was one thing, but I was also not drinking alcohol at all. But anyways, um, especially psychedelic stuff, I would avoid after that extreme psychosis experience. So, and this was many, many, many years after. But yeah, yeah, I think that was part of like making my mind. I mean, this the objective would have been to make my mind go. I mean, to lose my mind, to become like, yeah, become like insane. I think that was the intent of it. I didn't though. I just became less scared because I know that now also. Okay, whatever. I mean, I would. Um, yeah, I mean, I think like this also. These certain things, especially maybe that was very strange, and so. But I also became much much more secure in myself afterwards. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was almost a healing experience related to the previous experience I had. I mean, I kind of after that experience, I kind of know that my psyche will, I mean, will be strong enough to deal with whatever comes its way, so to speak. I mean, it wasn't easy to because it was something I don't know what it was, as I said, but it was something that really, um, I mean, how can I say? I really had to both calm myself and be very sharp in my mind at the same time, and I mean it was a really balance act those days to stay, how can I say, yeah, it was just I had to balance it very very much to not, uh, I don't know. It's hard to describe actually, but yeah, still I don't wish it wouldn't have happened though. None of this. I can't say that. I, of course, in one way, yes, I I don't even understand how this could have happened, mm, but yeah, I'm not telling this because I'm after someone either. uh, I feel at peace with myself and what my intent always have been, and that. But I also see that being too caring or helpful. I mean, yeah, in that kind of way, also evil. What I also wanted to say before that I didn't say is that some people, they um I mean, what I've felt now after that, for a while at least, but still, I'm super vigilant, or maybe you could call it suspicious, I guess. At the same time, I'm quite open, and that was also something I've heard by people before, because I was exposed to abuse, like certain things when I was a child, a very small child, and you don't react like you should, like you should almost like that, but I don't know what you should react like, be timid or what. Anyway, so I always, after this, I also have this thought in my mind: can I trust? It's not that I don't. People get also very offended when I don't trust them, because I'm very careful around like food and stuff. Like I don't want to. I don't want to purposely. I'm not so careful, but I mean, I don't want to purposely put myself in these situations again, where I get either poisoned or like drugged or stuff. Anyway, so I kind of think that, all right, can this person become bribed? First of all, is that a person that anyone could bribe, or could they be threatened? I kind of have to think about those things when it comes to people I have around me, and that is what I base my trust on, not on if they would mean well, kind of, but how tough are they? How strong are they? Would they bend? Would they be like weak in certain situations? uh, if they, if someone around them were threatened, someone they love, whatever, would they, like, do they have such a, and I'm not blaming anyone who doesn't, because I can understand that, but I mean, do they have that sense of integrity, and that, yeah, do they have that, so that they would never betray that? Because in my case, I feel like, also, I mean, it comes down to how much maybe someone care about me or would love me or something like that, but also uh, very much about one's own values, I feel. Because to me, I mean, you can't say before you have been in a situation what you would do or not do. That's impossible to really know. But I feel like, I mean, it's, to me, it feels like very impossible to, and I'm not even saying that is a strength. I think that sometimes it's very, very, very stupid, actually, to not, I mean, find some sort of, I don't know, middle way. I don't know. But I don't think I would. I mean, if I think about if I would be in some of those situations around someone that could get harmed, I would never do that. But I can't say for sure that I know that about others. Also, those who may not know, there could be minor things. Like, let's say, if you would, first of all, believe in whatever lies, but then again, also, let's say you would want to um, put some, what do you say? Oh, well, something to track, it could be, but also like a uh, surveillance, or something that listen. I mean, something in their homes or whatever. Um, Maybe you don't even know the meanness or evilness, then, if you use those words, of other people that made you do that. I mean, people may not have the ability to think what worst kind of, if you call it psychopath then, or whatever you call it, would be able to, how they could try to break or harm someone else. So I mean, I guess there are quite few. I mean, no, not few. I'm not saying I'm special in this. I've been kind of lucky, I guess. Also, being a psychic and medium does help actually, because the spirits just tell me when it's they don't go around telling me everything, but when they need to, they do. They show me or tell me that what I need, if it's very important. So, and someday or another, all of us shall leave here. So I think that's whenever, in whatever way that happens, that's meant to be then. So that's when they pick me from here, so to speak. So I'm not afraid of that either. Uh, but what I mean is that I don't think many can maybe survive these kinds of things, because if you are, um, oh, I just have to like a thing on Twitter here. um, yeah. Anyways, so I don't know what to say. But who are they? Without some. No, I can't say. Maybe if you are not, even if you are not still here, I cannot say. Mm. There are many reasons for that are good for others also. I mean, it doesn't have so. None of these have very much to do with me wanting to be secretive or protect myself or so on. Although I want to, of course, but that's not the reason. That's because of how it could affect or influence others, and that's why I don't want to. But yes, I know a few. I mean, I know who are a few of them are, and I could figure out who some others are. It wouldn't be difficult. So quite a few of these that I've been involved, I could easily get hold of. But what could I do with that? Like, so they know. But yeah, I've got proof though. So if anything would happen, yeah. So, but I don't think in those terms even anymore. I mean, things are calmer, I suppose now, and so on. And I guess also people that are, I mean, maybe I judge them somewhat, or maybe I have reason to. But also, I think that people generally have um, other things to focus. I mean, yeah, they will have someone else to um, intensely try to break. I guess I'm not the only one in the world. So, but I think many don't survive these kinds of things because they get probably drugged or get some poisons, medication, whatever, and yeah, they will just break people. But in my case, luckily, I've just become stronger, harder. Not harder actually, but stronger. Yeah, I'm as soft as I've been. I think, yeah, always. I mean, not always, but yeah. How I talk, I don't even. Yeah, but the reason the what sort of triggered me to talk about this was more so those who are exposed to. Um, there is injustice going on in the world. I mean, overall, of course, but I mean, when it comes to certain things now, the whole, where it was. Maybe you have a different idea about this, but when it was about these vaccine passports and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think my resistance, my strength in not what can I say, comply, yeah, that have been strong, that have become strong when it comes to whatever. Actually, I feel that, yeah, the things that I've been through, I'm not like complaining and or saying it's very sorry about for me or something. I think this was my path. I think I needed maybe these things. I wouldn't have wanted to, let's say, in a way, but whatever. There are other, worse things have happened to many people. So what can I say? In one way or in many always, maybe I've been very lucky also. So, but yeah, there are a few things that for a while it was like made me very sad. I mean, that was the thing that, for example, these years that this was going on, I mean, I was fertile. I'm older now. I these years, the years I spent or they spent on like also harassing me, but that also took that opportunity away from me to become a mom, because that was something I always wanted before. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to have a bunch of them, and I always wanted that. So um, it was not I mean, a huge sadness about that, but it was like more so surprising to me. I thought I would always have kids, and also, yeah, I think that was some more so my anger at some of them rather than all the other things that they took that from me. But also after some years now, I realized that that is not something I wish. So for many reasons, actually, not the least, um, how that also probably make you. I don't know how I would be in that case, but probably make you also. I wouldn't say weaker, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you understand. But yeah, that's nothing I feel now. I'm rather feel like that also is a gift. That was a blessing because I love kids, but I feel that there is something entirely different I should do in my life. So, uh, yeah. So I'm happy how things have become, and especially how who I am have become after all this. But yeah, I think the need for people to dare to speak about what's going on, and not only to speak, but to actually educate others in what happens, what actually happens to people. So if someone ever come up to them, whatever it could be, a neighbor, whomever, and mention, not that anyone, many would hear this, but if anyone come and tell you things that may seem very unlikely, uh, they may be true. It may actually happen. So yeah. So yeah, I will just drink some more water. But luckily, I also, aside from, I think I was born with a lot of skills to deal with this also. But a few of the best things, I guess, one is that I love to be by myself. I mean, I thrive with myself. I mean, I feel very. I've been like that since I was a child. Also, I love people also somewhat, but but I I love to be by myself. I just become stronger by being by myself. So to me, even though it was kind of rough to be isolated, so to speak, and i- like imprisoned in a way for so long, although I chose it, I still the opposite was, or the other alternative wasn't really very possible even. So um, I try to use that time to develop more of my skills that I have, and see it as a luxury that okay, this is how it is now. Reality is like this. So what can I do with this? And this was before the lockdowns and stuff. So right when they almost started, that was then I've been indoors for 2 years. Yeah. So, anyways, I thought that okay, how can I do this? How can uh, I use this to my advantage? And I did. And so, yeah, that is one of my positives, but also that I'm very childish. I'm kind of, I giggle very easily to whatever. I can feel happy very easily. Always was like that. since a child. So I think there are certain personality traits in me that have made it easier. I have a I haven't been like depressed or so. I've been like more so. There have been a high intensity of stress, and also like a almost like a detective tried to understand like what the heck is going on. I wanted this kind of wall that I could put all people up, that they do in series, I don't know, and pull some strings in different directions to kind of really get a grasp of what the heck is going on here. Like, yeah, there have been, as I mentioned, then there have been some church people. Let's call them that. There have been, there have been many various people that have harassed me and followed me around for I guess maybe also various reasons. There could have been they who closed no who very obviously wanted to scare me. At least if they didn't want to harm me, they wanted at least me to feel like as if and then there were those who maybe wanted to see too that nothing happened to me. I'm not sure. As I said, no one talked to me, so but also we did some magical stuff and so on that points in certain directions around that. So I think I don't need any more answers at all anyways around that. But I think it's very important to speak not about exact things all the time, but about what can happen and how people can behave. Yeah. I'm not sure it's very important though. This, I don't know. But yeah, I think I wanted just to say, I just wanted to say it. Yeah. That's it. Because also because I don't know whomever come across this, but I mean, I also feel, especially those who have believed certain lies about me, uh, they, I guess, I wish they, or at least could reflect that that may not be true, and also to maybe wonder a little bit about the source of that. There may be a reason why. Yeah. And also, one thing that also was surprising to me very much was, which also make it, when you think about it as a reflection of the society and all, one thing that was really surprising to me was like this was really planned also. This was strategically planned. I realized that long afterwards, but I mean, it was like gradually, strategically, I was like set up for many years before I even realized something was going on. Um, and that to me was like, wow. I mean, how can anyone like spend all that energy and time on, I mean, that must be almost like an obsession or like an interest. I mean, like as if your interest is to learn those I don't know, to play piano in this very why is that an example? But anyways, like um in a very professional way that you have to train it for years and years. I don't know. I think it's someone, and not only one, but there must have been people around that enjoy. I mean, not only enjoy to harm others, but who enjoy to confuse others, to make them not have a clue what's going on. I mean, that must have been a sort of a gratification of sorts to someone during that time back when I had no clue what was going on. I was also such a easy victim then, because I was absolutely clueless. but I think this also make me more open to understanding things that are going on in society. I'm not saying that those things have to go hand in hand in any way, but um, yeah, I'm not as naive as before. I understand that people have all kinds of ways, and when I was in those when I was drugged by something psychedelic, then after that period of days, a couple of 3 days or something, that was going on. That was like extreme. I can tell you that. And I saw future visions also. Being a psychic and medium doesn't make it easier to take those things. I must say, you are already open. So, anyways, yeah, it was interesting, and I think I saw pretty many images of what is to come. But anyways, so what I then thought is that something evil is really behind it. I mean, really, I usually don't think so, and I now again have like stopped thinking so. But to me, at that time, it was very obvious how sometimes people also spoke from not themselves. I mean, it was like almost like programmed, as I felt it, and that is something I can recognize sometimes nowadays as well. But anyways, yeah, it was like I had this sense that, and not, I don't mean an evil person then as such, but rather almost like an evil force, yeah, that I thought was kind of behind some sort of veil. I can't even describe it. Yeah, it's difficult to describe, but that is something I can feel with certain people. Also, the way they like to. I mean, I think. I mean, I've met these people that even have said so to me, and probably maybe you also have met those kinds of people. But those who say that they really get like a kick out of harming someone or making someone feeling bad, even just by saying things. I mean, I've always thought, okay, they are, this saying, hurt people hurt, or so on. But to me, that they get like uplifted or like wow when they can break someone or harm someone, to me that's like I just cannot get it. As well as, I mean, I understand those who want like if they feel like someone have been done them something bad or whatever, or uh, like revenge or something like that, that is at least, that is logical in some sense, at least. But those who just by themselves just enjoy the fact that others come to harm, I mean, what is that? And I've always thought that, okay, they must be super harmed from the beginning, but at the same time, I don't know. But when I know that, I mean, I've met those individuals. Actually, those who have said so have been two women, actually. Different, they didn't know each other or anything, but that anyway. So then that they even say so, I mean, even is more strange. If they are like that, don't say it. I mean, to me, it's like, why? Just getting a kick out of it and feeling like stronger, I guess, or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's totally. I don't understand it. Yeah. Well, I don't get anywhere with this. I must drink more water. I should go to bed. The whole going to bed thing. But yeah, still, yeah. I guess the journey we are on, and also together in society overall. But we need to be quite more open also towards each other, both listening. And now I only talk. You didn't say more if you still are here. But yeah, we cannot do this alone. I think we need each other, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about that actually. But if you have any questions, if you're still here, you can ask. But not. I mean, I'm okay with that. I just have to be careful with what I say because I don't want any. I want. I don't want. I mean, I love it calmly. I want it to keep being calm also, as well as yeah. As I said, I don't want to harm others. So, but there is a fine line there also. Where do you where do you harm more by protecting others who harm, you know? But more so, I think there is like just this fine line that where it would be useless is it would like be uh, totally futile to try to when nothing in law would catch this. I mean, it doesn't have to go that way. You can all go sideways. I was almost going to say no, but by you don't have to. And that is also I've had the worst kind of thoughts. Yes, when it comes to these kinds of things, because I've also now I've healed, I guess, so much so that it doesn't bother me. But I'm not sure if I would fall into that ditch again. But I think I won't. But um, I hope I won't, anyways. But yes, when something pushes me, I can have the worst thoughts and intents myself um, to those people. Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe even those around them. I mean, that's the horrible thing when you start to look into that. Whatever they say, if you, what is that whole into the abyss? Uh, make sure it's something like don't so you don't become like them. And yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean those instincts and those protective instincts and the rage that can be there, that's something real, and that is and carrying hate, as I also have done, is not a good thing. Yeah, so sometimes I can find myself lifting a little bit higher, like eagle vision, and see that this whole journey have its purpose. I'm here for something, and I love who I am. I know I also that no matter what, that is also something that I've developed, I guess, because of all this shit. I like I don't care what people think about me. Of course, I'm glad when people treat me good or are nice, sweet people towards me. I mean, I feel good about that, and so, but I know so very well and so strongly at the core who I am. So there is really no other one's opinion about me or the way they would see me that would shake me even a little bit, because I totally know who I am. And to come to that strength, that is worth it all. I mean, I could have, this sounds so stupid and cocky, but I mean, yeah, I feel like that. I could have the whole world against me and just be by myself, and I wouldn't. That wouldn't shake me, because that's how it have sort of somewhat felt. But that was an exaggeration, of course. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of know that anyway, more so than ever. And that is like the win have been worth it. But I wouldn't want to go through any of it again, like, and I wouldn't wish anyone to go through it. And therefore I feel like it's good that people understand that these things can happen. I wonder if there is something that I forgot. I mean, there are things that I've avoided to say, but wonder if there is something I actually forgot to say, because I don't think I will speak about this again, as I said. At least I thought about. Actually, I didn't think about speaking about this until I heard about all kinds of things that goes on with other people regarding how they are treated by society and law and so on. More so, but I just felt like, yeah, I shouldn't be quiet. But my thought before then was that, well, if I lived until I think I will live for quite long. I'm 80 or something. Maybe I should write a book, because then it's all blown over. Maybe people aren't alive, or I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I thought about being quiet until then, but I'm quite quiet. That is also another thing. Every time I try to, I mean, every time I even mention, since they also listen to my phone and whatnot, when I mentioned, and that was just smaller things like saying to someone that, well, yeah, I don't know, smaller things just around whatever, then that was just to up the volume on, on the whole harassment again. So every time I got that response, that then it happened again, like, and so on. So I hope that won't happen now. But even if, I mean, yeah, I feel calm. So I've not tried to, this is not, my aim is not in any way to yeah, I guess expose someone even, or anything. The only thing it is that I want to share what have happened, what can happen, and also that you actually can become way stronger by it. It doesn't feel like that probably for most in the situation. It feels like pretty hopeless, and how could this ever end, or would it ever, or whatnot. But yeah, you kind of learn how strong you are after something like that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, I just wanted to share, especially maybe to those, as I said, those who may have believed whatever lies. And I also don't care about if people do, because I think it's, as I said, also I think it's on them. But at least I've said it. They people can decide to not believe me, and that's fine. I'm used to that sort of now then, but I know. So it's just, yeah. At least I've said it. So yeah, for 2 hours almost. What have I said here even? I felt like again, I'm a little bit tired. I felt like I had a lot of uh, things to say. It was much other things that was on my mind though. But I just have to like recall a little bit if there is something else that I wanted to say. No, but my cheerful spirit. I also, when I lived with my first boyfriend there, I was like there in bliss almost when you saw those raindrops on the, like it is now on the window. And I mean, I have always been quite. I easily feel very grateful. I can enjoy things very quickly, and I also have this mood that is very quick. I mean, I felt extremely bad in my life, but that doesn't linger. I just pop up, like, or so on. I swing up. So I cannot. It's my nature. Just I'm set that way, sort of. I have a happy spirit, and luckily I have, and humor. I could even not when I was in in the midst of all this, there were so many things. Also, not only that, around town here, they were writing, I mean, on these official toilets, and not only there, but on like in places around town. They were using spray and spraying my like address and stuff on. Some people were like, so when I went somewhere, that it was like also being targeted. Like they didn't, they didn't. I mean, obviously, certain. Um, I don't know. Uh, someone in society maybe would react if they have my name everywhere, but they had like my they have like my the streets that I lived on, or stuff. They maybe like two of them were last and stuff like it was all like I just shook my head and said, okay. I did recognize it, but the thing is, yeah, after a while, when you had met a lot of things, a lot of harassment, you just it doesn't get to you. It doesn't mean anything else than you just shake your shoulders, and that's that. Like whatever. So yeah, but it was to a degree that is still, although much minor than I've heard many have been subjected to. It's still to a degree that many would never be able actually to understand that it's possible. Yeah. And the anger also to those who just miss it. That is something in itself, actually, because yeah, that I mean, as I said, I haven't said it to many, but yeah, there's another thing I don't understand with that, and that is uh, if people think you're lying, that is, I understand that it would be provoking, and that you would just maybe be a little bit, I don't know how I would treat someone. I would still think they were like sick in some kind of way if they were lying about stuff like that. Then they are not in balance. but also I if I thought someone were like sick, I mean, in the sense of having some psychological being disturbed in some kind of way, uh, then also I wouldn't mock them, or be like degrading. I mean, if people aren't well in that sense, I would rather be caring towards them, I guess, even if they were totally, you know, out cycling, as you say in Swedish. But yeah, I mean, if they were, if it was obvious that they were quite lost, or I thought so, I would still not be. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, some of these things that I met around those that I've mentioned a little bit too, that that I don't understand still. I don't understand why anyone would. Yeah, I don't understand it. But the way I've sounded here, I understand it, because now I just feel like this is not a straight path where I talk when I talk at all. The longer I speak, that is also another thing. If someone come across it, and I've been speaking here for like 3 hours, let's say, not that I will, let's hope not. Then no, I won't. I'm so tired. Then someone come across it, they will just not have the energy or time to listen. So I kind of like that idea that, oh yeah, anyone won't. But someone is here, so sweet of you to still listen, whomever. But yeah, but was it anything else? But yeah, I'm happy for the personality that I came in with, so to speak. But also I met quite some things early, as well as a lot of happy things, and nature itself and all things. I mean, there are many things that have been strengthening me, especially nature. My dad is like or my grandmother, my dad's mother, is a Sami from the native Swedes, and so it have always been natural to be outdoors. We grew up kind of outdoors. No, not that we were I mean, not that we were put outdoors, but we were like, yeah, always outdoors anyways. So I think to me that was like that moved into my whole body, my whole being, nature itself, and that in that I've always felt strength when other things were more so strange. And also, yeah, yeah, there's a lot of things, but I think I was well fit to deal with these things anyways, it seems. And have never been stronger my in mentally. It doesn't sound like it, really doesn't when I speak here, I know, but I feel it in me, I know it in me. Yeah. So physically I could need some changes, positive ones, but yeah, now I just go on and on without talking about these things at all. But yeah, I just wonder if there is something else that I need to say that have happened. No, I don't know. Yeah, one thing about this whole, I do believe that we can create our own reality and all that, and what we focus on, things like that. So therefore, also, I don't want to go into these kind of spiraling thinking about and talking about these kinds of things. But one thing I remember from right before, sorry, right before these things happened, started to happen more intensely. Then I remembered that I thought how happy I am to live in a free. I mean, I was walking around like quite late or whatever it was, and I was thinking, oh, I live in this country where I, as a woman, and so I can walk around freely without getting attacked, or I was like overly thankful for my freedom. I feel so afterwards I thought, wow, did I like trigger this shit? I mean, like a backwards thing that I almost that was almost like some sort of backwards fear, because I heard in different countries where all kinds of things happened where you couldn't go out or it was dangerous, this and that. And so afterwards I kind of thought also that, wow, how, was that like uh, some, because I was very, very often thinking about it. It was not like one time. It was not every time I went out, but also another thing is someone that I don't like to go into like personal. I feel like this also, that when I go into certain personal, I mean that relate to certain persons, as I spoke about this first boyfriend and so on. I think that I kind of give them a badge of honor or something. I mean, I really don't, but it feels like I give them some sort of that they would like, whoa, look how I mean so much. I don't know. So therefore, I also hesitate to saying this, but I will. There was someone that I had a close contact with for years, at least like two, I guess, before, let's say, more so all hell broke loose, sort of. And but I started to understand certain things though at that time also, because the conversations were very odd at times. This person pretended to wanted to be father to my children. I mean, all kinds of things. Well, anyway, so when I sort of mentioned something that happened, the reply could be, I don't know if this was also a game to pretend, so to speak. But anyways, this person like could say, well, what date was that? I mean, no normal, let's say, person you speak with ask uh, things like, I mean, if someone tell me about an event that happened, and oh, I met that and that, or I did those kinds of things, or that happened or something, and they no one asked what kind of date was that. Was it the 7th of June, or was it like, or whomever does that? So I mean, they were in more weird things than that, but that was certain things that I thought, oh, this is not like normal. But yeah, until I also discovered that that person were like not whomever they portrayed themselves to be. And after that, because I felt like that really, I guess that was the last time I was really crushed. And that was quite a long time ago, because that had been going on for so long. And suddenly I realized that they weren't really what they, uh, I mean, like they were, um, yeah, playing a role, let's say. And that was so shocking to me. And the fact that maybe, I'm not sure still, but maybe they were like hired or paid by someone, or had that as some sort of job, or I don't know. But um, to realize that, I mean, I don't know. I was so shocked. I was so shocked and so stressed out. So I never wanted to have anything to do with humans ever again. I was like, I thought, okay, after, first of all, I cried like a week. I woke up crying. I fell asleep crying. I was I was totally crushed by that situation. It was such a shock to me. It was such a shock to me. Anyway, uh, so after that, also I've been more aware of people. Like, I mean, even though those who come close to me, I have in the back of my mind, I wonder what their aims are, or what they're playing. Like, sadly that I do, but you know, but there are some that are obvious. I mean, some people are very just themselves, and you can quite easily detect that, which is very calming, though. But anyway, so after that, also, yeah, I thought I would never go out for some other reason, because I didn't want to meet people. I thought I just hate people. People are like insane overall. I don't want to have anything to do with people ever again. I was so, that was like, after a while, first I was but just shocked. I was screaming. I was like, the pain. I mean, I felt so, I can't even describe how I felt. I almost don't remember, but yeah, I do remember a bit of it. But then then I yeah, that person also exposed in several ways that they were, yeah, they were playing, like, let's say, or whatever they did. um but then I got this little Labrador that I took care of for some years. She showed up in my world then, and luckily for the animals in my life, I mean, all my life, even as a kid, they were the saviors, let's say. But then I went out walking because I had her, and or I took care of her a lot. So otherwise, I wouldn't have even gotten out. So I started to talk to others who have dogs or whatever. But I mean, yeah, my disgust and anger and almost hate towards human beings, if they even in my mind were called that, then I just didn't. Yeah, I can't describe it, but it was horrible. But then she kind of unlocked that, and I started gradually to heal with her, I guess, for some years. But then, yeah, and meanwhile, I had her also. This whole thing started to. I mean, it was already, that person was connected to that, of course, but, and I met others close to that person following me around as well. And anyways, I mean, his brother and whatnot, that, yeah, and they didn't live here even, but yeah, anyway, um, so when I walked with her also, I recognized how I mean, when someone came and they slowed down with some van close to me or something, we just walked out in the off from the road so they couldn't like catch us. But I used to have, I think I mentioned that I used to go and have my fingers on 112 is like the if you call like to what are they called? Like SOS, is that even what they called in English? Yeah, anyways, like yeah. So I had to preset the number and held my thumb. Not that I thought it would help, but I thought like if someone would like drag me into something, then I would at least first this number would reach that, that place maybe. But I mean, you can block all kinds of, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, and after that, also this cat that I have now, she lived as a neighbor to mine, but the neighbor burned. She died in a fire, and then I saved the cat later on, and she had also been very special because she heard when someone was out in the outside, right outside the door. She just stared into the wall exactly. And also later when I moved, when someone after I lived where I fled from, let's say, then she knew because then it was like on the bottom floor and they could like stand there with their cars, whatever, staring into the windows. But then she could like she had fixated her little, I don't know, they hear very well and so on, so little airs and everything, and I saw her changed of how she changed her ways when someone was standing outside, like so I could go out look at like on a balcony or something and go like check and there exactly where she had like lasered beam her eyes and ears like totally. It was like she was almost like mm, a little I don't know, a little helper anyways. So I knew every time if someone was like right outside and so on, she had like total control of some for some reason. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, and some of these people were just, I wouldn't say like meaningless, but these kind of what can you say? Now I have some cards here. Also, I shouldn't pull cards now, but what came up here? Yeah, page ones now when I talk about those minor, but somewhere like those who do, I don't know, services for someone. I mean, yeah, almost like, I don't know the English words, but yeah, they were just boys, pretty. What can I say? Yeah, I don't know. Even those could scare me anyways because they were like three following me close by or standing, going into, if there was like where you had to go under somewhere where people couldn't see you. They were going there and waiting for me, like stuff like that. So it wasn't totally awesome, but I weren't scared of them actually. Yeah, from the beginning when I hadn't what was when I first went out after like 2 years. Then when I came in and those people kind of have followed me, I could shake like for an hour or something. I mean, my whole body was just shaking, and so I didn't know I was afraid exactly, but my whole system reacted in obviously scared ways. So I was so surprised. I had never realized, I mean, experienced that before. Usually when dramatic things happen to me, I get super calm. Not that that was dramatic, but my whole system was triggered somehow. But and when things are minor, like a sock is curling or something, then I can get really, really upset. No, but small, minor things can get me upset. But I get more so focused when it's also when this the first boyfriend there, or not the first, but one of them when I was quite young, anyways. When he was crazy, um, I was super. I mean, yeah, I was in shock also because everything was in slow mo. But but I was super calm, also super focused, and very very logical. Like, and that's how I usually become when, luckily, uh, when things are very extreme. Aside from, oh, I won't go into all of that. By the way, hey, someone else is here. 2 people listening to this. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so, but yeah, I don't have any. I also think that my way of reacting to authority have never been to back down, so to speak, whomever it have been, in school, in whatever it have been. Actually, I think I also was born like that. I I have like I have had always a strong sense of my own value, and also that others have to have some sort of mandate to try to push whatever on me. I never, I don't used to put people down, but I also don't used to. Yeah, I can see. I can be very push. No, what do you say? Hold them up, in some ways, when I just see potential and all the good things. But I don't see people as above me usually. So I think that I've been a. I'm glad for that, but it also have been a problem. I think that some others have reacted quite aggressively towards me because I'm not a humble person like that, you know. And maybe there are those who have tried to mold me into that. But then again, that was something people tried so early in my life. I mean, yeah, super early, and that didn't work then either, and it won't work. So, anyways, yeah, that's what happened. A few of the things that happened. Yeah. But yeah, it's very difficult to explain. But it's also those who have been in similar situation or know anything about that, or that it even happens to anyone, they they understand, obviously. Yeah, and that's good. That is good if someone understands. But yeah, and I don't try to force myself to think about it positively, but I also actually realize that I would have never been where I am now and so content with who I am, and with the strength that I do have, as I am now, if I wouldn't have gone through all this. But yeah, in the middle of it, I wasn't sure. I'm not sure still. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, what I mean with sure is like survive, and that is another thing. Since I've been through things, I think the most strongest impression is probably from when you are very little, also. But since I've been through that several times in my lives, in my life, I mean, maybe in lives also, but where people wanted to kill me. Sometimes people who claimed or should love me, like, and as a small child, also, just like when I was 4, and even then, calm. I wanted to kind of save that person, but I think that. What was I going to say about that? I just there was something I was going to say. I've forgotten it now. Um, no, I don't know what it was. Anyways, yeah, I was going to say that I think that it kind of made me stronger, or I have been made kind of to go through all this and so on. Um, and I do think that all of this must have been meant in some kind of way to mold me. I mean, to form me to, is that the right word? To who I have become. Uh, And of course I've made mistakes. I mean, I'm not saying nothing of these have been on me. I have for sure. I wish I made different choices, but I don't wish that I had cared less. And the or I mean the overall or the only thing that I have have been my intent. I mean, that has been the only way that the only thing that has stand in my way, so to speak, is because I've cared way too much. And I wish, no, I don't wish I didn't, but yeah, those people are alive, those I cared about. so, so I guess that's a good thing. Some of them wouldn't have been, I'm sure. Yeah, can say that. Maybe all of them. So, and some of them I wouldn't have wanted them to be. So, but yeah, anyways. Yeah. Oh, how I talk. No one can ever understand what I'm talking about. Or can I even have this up later? Oh, and it's stop. But, oh, wow. Is there something else before I let go of this forever? I have already let go of it, though, but I wonder. Uh, but this was the thing, anyways, with everything. They were, well, even if we were going by car, whatever, always, and for so many years, like followed. Mm, yeah, and also this whole thing with post office. There are many things too that I could say, but as I said, maybe when I'm 80, I write a book that is more like a fiction kind of, even though it's true. But yeah, but I think yeah, I try to understand sometimes, but I don't know. I think the sense of being above someone or like winning or yeah, just yeah, I think that is what is the reward sort of for having the patience or interest even to keep going and to keep pushing or put pressure on someone and see their confusion. And that is another thing. I'm so relaxed in many ways since I was so targeted and so watched, also before I now I don't have the webcam up, but I think you can see in other ways. I don't know, I'm not sure, but anyways, here I don't have it up anyways for everyone. So I also thought about that. The more I talk, the more I'm seeing they can like do some sort of deep fake thing and whatever. But yeah, I mean they saw and heard me all the time in all the ways. I mean, I could walk out naked on the streets, or I don't know. I could do like, I mean, previously maybe I had some sort of shy street. No, I didn't actually so much, but okay, I was like. I mean, in those kinds, what I wanted to say is like in those kinds of ways, they also wanted to make me feel ashamed by uh, by realizing much later on that they have always looked at me like also maybe had other things that were placed, you know. But my reaction is quite the opposite. I feel like yeah, I prefer to have like walls that aren't see through, let's say, like, or glass walls, but or whatever. But even if I did, I mean, no, what it did was like if ever I had some sort of ashamed feeling in me, that's gone because also what they did, and I guess that's a good thing also. I mean, yeah, and that was also horrible to begin with when I realized that when it like dawned on me that these have been going on. They have watched me all the time, heard me all the time. It's not that I was what I was talking about, but whatever, having sex, I don't know, whatever, you know. That was like, and that was my also shock with this one that I had contact with several years or a few years. when that dawned on me, how they could invade me, I mean rape me psychologically, in like invade my whole person, everything, like uh when I realized that, that was such I was so crushed. And so, not that I felt that was not shame, that was rather sort of I couldn't believe how, I mean, I wouldn't even read a, if someone had like a letter or their phone or anything, I wouldn't touch other people's stuff. And and how others, even the hacking thing, I know that there are all kinds of hackers, I don't know, but even that I feel like is, wow, how can people do like that? But more so when it was like so personalized that they were like watching me, they were the shock, and the how how yeah, I combined, I mean, if then I would have met much kindness, but combined with the mm, would say mockery about the stuff, the also the thing of seeing yeah, interpreting someone in a bad light, or seeing someone in like dismissing, like those are others, that kind of thing. But I also, another thing that I thought about from the beginning, oh, I need to, some itching in my ear. Another thing that I thought about from the beginning, also, when I recognized over and over same people, some of them, and yeah, nowadays I don't care, but I mean, it have changed also. I changed hair color. I moved stuff. People change, and they. I mean, I look quite the same, but anyways, um, things changed. But what I also feel or felt is this tiny town, probably super corrupt in some ways, but, and I don't want to hate on the town, but also I love this town though. But yeah, and there are many good people who do awesome things, and I'm sure I have a lot of people to also to thank for sitting here, being alive even. But what I was thinking also is, certain people of these that were following me around, let's say guards, whatever, they had, obviously, whatever maybe they privately were like assholes, but if they had an, I thought they still had some sort of a mission, let's say. And if they did, then they hadn't maybe a whole storyline, whatever was what. Maybe they just had sit close to that person. I don't know, whatever they could uh, have as assignment, let's say. But still, in this little town, what I was thinking about then was how unfair it felt to me, because people know people, and I mean, uh, to kind of paint me also in that kind of way, to be, it doesn't matter that there are like you shouldn't I mean, there is some there's some sort of, you shouldn't talk about what's happened at work or whatnot. But I mean, if I would come into a certain social environment and meet these people or their family, whatever, then even if they wouldn't have no some sort of a story told to them, I would still be, you know, seen as someone suspicious in some kind of way. And that is something that I also felt was so unfair. I mean, to being like innocent and be yeah, yeah, anyways. That's that. Oh, how much I say. but that's something I felt anyways. I felt this is so freaking bad. I mean, how can they do this? I felt to someone who, I mean, all these things, different people also, but still, yeah. But it have been, I guess, both strengthening and liberating, because I don't know what could shake me. Yeah, there were probably a lot of things that could shake me, but I mean, at least a lot of those things that could previously cannot anymore, because it's just won't. I don't care. That's why. Um, yeah. So, and that's a good thing though. But I mean, yeah. I think that is also another thing. No one really can grasp how it is to be, uh, what is it? Yeah, surveilled. Is that the word? Constantly. I mean, watched constantly. Yeah, and we all probably are in society now, though. And people maybe don't care about that either. But to me, it was a shock, though, to realize that some people just do that. And they had a little bit fun with it also. But yeah, it's not my problem. So, oh gosh, now I should really, really go to sleep. Oh. Yeah, a few a few more minutes more maybe. But yeah, overall, it have been a blessing. So thanks to everyone. No, but yeah, it have. I mean, this life is a ride, and probably I'm that kind of person. I mean, yeah, probably I should have realized long, long time ago that certain persons that are involved in certain things, I should not have them around at all. But I have not. That's another problem. Not only being very caring, actually, it sounds like I brag about myself, but I see it as weaknesses. I mean, aside from that, oh, I just need to move my feet. Aside from that, I also was not very judgmental. So therefore, I allowed certain people at least back into my life. Sometimes I pushed them a bit away if they were like going too far or being just impossible in some way or another. But yeah, I guess that was a lack of boundaries that I didn't know I needed to have. I didn't understand. Obviously, I didn't understand how strange consequences could come out of that, related to others, maybe that they had to do with or whatever. So yeah, I mean, nothing can be different right now. So, and I wouldn't want it to be. It's perfect now. I feel so good. So I'm okay, but I'm not only okay, I feel fantastic. So yeah, I think it was like it had to be. Yeah, but I wouldn't like. I try not to ask for it. Like be here also feels like I almost ask for it to come back. That's a bad idea. No, I don't. I really don't see how anyone would have that uh, patience. But that is also another thing. I'm quite stubborn. I'm quite patient in one way. So I in some sense I kind of knew quite quickly that if I didn't like lose it on them in one way or another, then I kind of had a sense that I may be even more patient. Yeah, I mean patient in the sense of being careful, not to uh, not to be killed. You know, and also be a little bit vigilant about not to be also played or pushed in different directions, to become like a victim for whatever. Yeah. But I can't say that I have been living very freely. Luckily, I also live very much inside of myself. I mean, the things that I've done since I was a kid also, and I love, they are very much, I have never been bored. I'm that person who, I, not that I live in my fantasy world, but many of the things I do, I feel free in that sense. But unfortunately, in the outer sense, I have had to think a lot. And also when I had the dog, I was never walking the same exact time, never walking exactly the same way and stuff like that. So yeah, there are many things that have learned. They have become sort of instinctual, or I've learned to think in certain ways because of these kind of things that have happened. I'm always aware. I always keep like an arm length distance. I mean, and also the whole, as I mentioned before, as people can take it as very personal, as if I don't think that they are worthy of my trust. Like, um, but it have more so to do with how resilient they would be, or would be able to be, and that is not even judging. That is just my way of being prepared, my way of try to do my best to live and be happy in my life, and I am, but also not to invite harm to myself, because even if others don't understand that can happen, I do understand. I don't care if and no one else understand but me, but I am the one responsible for not wanting those kinds of things to happen again. So I do things I can to prevent that. So at the same time, while not trying to trigger some other reactions around me. And as I said, I think that certain people who have been involved in certain things they don't want to be exposed, they have exposed themselves quite some, but um, yeah, they are several of those asking they who are that have been those who obviously have been involved in certain things. They probably thought I had a clue of, which I didn't though. I may have had a little clue about someone or something, but mainly not. So yeah, they have kind of showed that themselves. So, and that have kept happening actually. I mean, yeah, I recognize certain new people even now. Like this, as I said, this town is quite little, and there are, when I see certain I won't even go into that, never mind. But I learn, I kind of have a sort of an overview of certain people in this town, what they are involved in, let's say that then, without saying too much, because of them being, yeah, like guarding me, like say watching over me very much. So yeah, and I have no interest in knowing anything or so on. I'm so glad if I can just not. But yeah, so That's where I am at now. So I will just, God, can I stop? I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. What else? What else? What else? No, I don't know. But yeah, uh, it's good to question your reality and all things that goes on and everything. And yeah, it's good to be shaken also, I guess, uh, because you have to change both your priorities. You have to, and also knowing that you can't turn to anyone because obviously, I mean, there are certain um, what are they called? Yeah, certain whatever in society that you should be able to turn to if certain things happen. But in a very very corrupt, very corrupt situations, or where there are those who are, um, I mean, not all in like a specific field of work or whatever would be corrupt, but still, if you know that there are quite some that are, then what can you do? I mean, you can't really turn anywhere. You can't really do much. That's the problem also. I mean, when criminals are I mean, let's say it like this. I'm not saying that that's a good way of expressing things that can go both ways. That can be either or whatnot. But sometimes the good guys are the criminals, let's say, and the criminals are the good guys. Not saying that is the case. I'm just saying that sometimes all are the bad guys. Let's say, or girls, whatever. But yeah. Anyways, what you have is you. Yeah. And what I have is me. And luckily, I'm a strong one. I think my warrior side have become stronger, but I think also that have always been the case. I was really fierce, and I am. But the thing is, I'm so hot tempered. So to not like explode, I really had to do these kinds of meditations. I have had to also numb myself with food, whatever things to like calm that side of me, because that is very natural. That is the most natural thing for me, and it's very very strong. And yeah, it's a good thing to have, but yeah, hopefully I won't be in situations where that can. I mean, yeah, if I have to protect something, that is a really really good side to have. But yeah, I don't know what. Wow, I need to stop. I still try to think about what else, if there is something important that I've missed. I don't want to come back to this situation. I don't want to come back to talking about this ever again. I feel like so. Therefore, I want to really think of. I mean, as I said, there are several things that I have not been able to say, we could not say and cannot say. But at least I've mentioned a few of the things that I've been through. Um, yeah, and I'm freer now. I also decide to be. I mean, as I said, I'm not scared, but I'm vigilant, and I'm very distrusting of those who are very trusting also, because then I know I can't trust them, you know, because they would, you know, they would try to talk to some authority who might be super corrupt, whatever. Stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. What else? What else? But it have changed my whole. You know, I mean that must have also been hackers involved in this whole thing. By the way, because not just for the whole TV, but I mean it was like the radio. It was like also when I went to, and this sounds super paranoid, but I was very attentive, so I'm sure this was for at least a short while. This was targeted too. If not, the universe just was so in sync with, I don't know. But I mean, when I walked into a store, let's say, or like, I don't know, everything, let's say, because if they play music there, for example, that would be like, that would kind of change to a specific, no, I can't go on and on and talk about this, but those who know, know. No, 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 no. And yeah, and when I understand how easy, I mean, not easy to mess with everything, but still it's possible. So then I really, okay, then then I really understand how I started. We really need to be careful about where this society is going, because we can be so mind fucked. I mean, this was my experiences of this have been personally related to myself, and also to people that I have come across in my life, whatnot. That won't happen to anyone like that. But when it comes to the whole system and how, yeah, we it's not good to be extremely exposed, and also to be extremely trusting when it comes also to technology and those kinds of things. Um, and most are aware of that on some sort of level without even thinking it would ever have anything to do with them exactly, man. But I half speak Swedish because I'm so tired. But I will just end now. I'm so sorry, and thank you for whomever had the patience, or if that's your work or whatever. Thank you, anyways. And also another thing is that this last thing I would say now is that when I want someone, if I would want someone to be, how can I say, free from suspicions, you could say also, I cannot. How can I? I mean, that is also another reason why it's difficult to talk about, because that can seem like I shine some spotlight on someone it's not directed towards, someone that it's absolutely not directed towards. And that is also a problem. So, yeah, but I didn't say much, I feel. I hope I didn't say much. And yeah, and I mean, I'm also content with the fact, although, yeah, I'm content with the fact that I know, and also they know, those who have wanted to break me by spreading lies, they are aware that that is what it is. And yeah, that's all we need to know. Yeah. And right now, and for some time, I've not felt like, I don't feel any anger or anything. I just hope people go their way, live their lives, and hopefully heal if they can. Otherwise, I really don't care. And I also kind of like that side of me that I didn't have before. I could not care, but now I can. it doesn't mean that I don't. Oh, I go too far. I won't go into that. But I mean, yeah, I won't say anything more about that. I will just end now. And this can't be up, I guess, for long. Yeah, it can. I don't know. Anyways, if anyone wants to say, put a comment beneath also, that's fine. Later. Oh, someone is here. It's been lovely listening to you share your thoughts. Oh gosh. Hey, have you been there listening? Oh, thank you for that. And I wish you best night or whatever it is where you are also. And yeah, take care. And if anyone wants to put a comment or have questions, I mean, this sounds so random. That is a problem if you ever should, like, I'm not going to court with all this. I could, but I won't, because also they are too good at that, those who have done these things. But the problem is there are so many threads, and now I didn't even have a focus. But it's hard to, I mean, that takes a little bit of patience to realize how those go together. Anyways, yeah, that was not my aim now. So anyways, yeah, have a good night. Bye for now.